How did you find the AGM Festival, Ben? It feels like there was a different feel to it this year.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was a good AGM from my perspective. My first. It was really good to actually come into the room, not in a kind of procession, but actually just to walk in, mingle with fans like we have been more recently. And yeah, there's a feel good factor. It's gonna feel like that because we're top of the league. But actually, there was a good business undertone to it, I felt, and some of the questions asked were actually really interesting, and you know, not necessarily football specific, which sometimes is what you want to hear from an AGM.
One thing I did want to pick up on, there was quite a pointed question, I don't know, maybe that's not the right word, in terms of the sponsorship on the shirt of Leo Vegas, which of course has been around for a season and a bit, and it must be a very difficult one as a club, trying to be a community club, but also rationing that against the financial realities, I guess, of trying to compete at professional football.
Yeah, it was a perfectly valid and a good question. For me, if someone said to me, could we have continued to have Aviva on our shirt for a prolonged period of time, I would have said absolutely. Brilliant brand, focused around Norfolk, as we all know, that have been with the club for over 10 years. That wasn't to be, and Aviva decided to move in a different direction, even though staying on board with the football club. We had to go out, we had to look for the best option, and there was always a decision to be made around value over brand. And for me, sometimes, you know, the two don't marry together, and the majority of football clubs now, especially in the top 30, are sponsored by a gambling or betting brand, and that's the stark reality of it. They're offering 3, 4, 5 times the value sometimes that a non-betting brand is. And as a self-financed club, we have to make that right decision, and sometimes that pulls between your head and your heart. And I might add, some of the points raised were really valid, but as a club we made the decision based on the stark financial realities of the club, and that's what we did.
Also, just pointing out that, you know, the finances are in very good health if you look at them right now, but the club are projected to have a £5 million overdraft, which is workable, as Ben Dack said. But in terms of that whole, and generally the football club is trying to match that and ease that pressure by selling players. Do you feel a burden of responsibility to try and ease that by way of the commercial opportunities and trying to ease that situation any way you can? Yeah,
absolutely. I think commercial is really important in football. Ultimately, we are one of the highest in the Championship when it comes to commercial turnover, so we're already in a really good state, but we can always do better. And part of my role is actually to work with Ben in looking at all opportunities to try and bridge that gap, so we don't have to sell players, and we give Stuart and Daniel the best possible opportunity of giving us the promotion or the successful team on the pitch. It's always a delicate balance because, you know, you want to produce the very best commercials that you can, but we've got to remember that we're potentially moving into a 4th season in the Championship, or hopefully a brilliant new world in the Premier League. So it's got to be managed in terms of expectations of what we physically can do as a football club in terms of driving revenues. What we can be is we can be more efficient, and I'm concentrating all my efforts at the moment in trying to effectively be more efficient and make more money for the football club, and hand that over to Stuart and Daniel.
Just finally, would the Premier League make your life a lot easier?
Premier League would make all of our lives a lot easier, but no, commercially it opens up a brand new world. Financially it takes away the heavy burden, but no, it's fantastic. Why wouldn't anyone want to operate in the Premier League and give it a go? I'm pretty sure Daniel and Stuart would love the challenge, certainly so would I. But we're in the Championship for the time being, and we've got to take every game as it comes.
Cheers, Ben, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks very much.